In the first years when I moved to Miami, which is in the beginning of the Velamids, the Yiddishkeit wasn't so strong here. And therefore, all the Fruma Yidden, all the Fruma Meistes knew of each other and were connected. And therefore, even though there is Miami Beach and there's North Miami Beach, and it takes about 20-25 minutes on the highway to go from Miami Beach to North Miami Beach, but it was all basically like one. And we all knew all the things which are going on over there. They knew which was going on here. Later on, it became so much now that it's mamish two separate kehillas and two separate places. But that time it wasn't. And therefore, there was one shtotische mikveh, which was in Miami Beach. And everybody used it. It was the only mikveh for women, and everybody used it. Miami Beach and North Miami Beach, there was no other mikveh because this was all like one. At one point, they decided to make a mikveh in North Miami Beach. And this is because already the community grew, and now they could use their own mikveh there. And there was a man that was involved, and he wrote to the Rebbe, asking for a letter. I don't remember if it was for a dinner that they were making or just a haskome, but he asked the Rebbe for a letter about building the mikveh that they were going to build in North Miami Beach. And actually, they were going to build two beiras, two places where you could tevel, and one of them would be a beir el gaba beir, so it could accommodate the Lubavitchers who want after a beir el gaba beir, and they're ready to do it. So he wrote to the Rebbe and asking the Rebbe for a letter. So I remember Rabbi Yomin Klein called me, and he said the Rebbe asked him to call and find out, is there any politics involved? Is this mikveh something that everyone agrees and it's fine? Or is this taking away from another mikveh? Is this a kind of Hasogas Gevul that might be from another mikveh that's there? In other words, he didn't say these words, but in other words, if that's it, he's not going to get involved and he's not going to send any letters. As much as by the Rebbe, every time you open the mikveh, which is something very special, and those days he would even send letters if it was appropriate, was possible. In this case, he wanted to know if this is taking away from another one. In other words, there's politics, he said, and there's someone who feel that it's wrong of them to open another mikveh. He's not going to send a letter. Lepa Mamish, I found out that there was no politics. Everyone was happy because it grew, the community grew, and therefore they were able to have another mikveh. So the Rebbe actually sent a letter to the committee that was involved in building the mikveh in North Miami Beach. But otherwise, the Rebbe wouldn't send because it would be a gather of Hasogas Gevul.